Buenos días y bienvenidos a la cuarta semana. Ya estamos en la mitad del semestre y vamos a cubrir capítulo 3, pero también vamos a tomar el examen oral parcial. Okay, so welcome to week 4. I am on the tareas semanales page in Blackboard, and so you have your list of objetivos específicos, your specific objectives, and they all relate to chapter 3. Okay, so you're going to be expressing more ideas and actions in the present tense. You're going to be learning irregular and stem changing verbs. You'll also be able to relay some future ideas using the structure ir a with an infinitive. And you'll be able to recognize the difference between and talk about what and whom you know using verbs like saber y conocer, which both mean to know but in different ways. You'll also be able to identify in written and oral language as well as use the personal a, used a lot with conocer. And this is sometimes hard to remember because there is no English equivalent. There's no linguistic equivalent in English to this word in this sense. Okay, you're going to identify articles of clothing and find out a little bit more about how they feel using idioms that go with the verb tener. And now that you've seen a little bit of ser and a little bit of estar, we're going to be going through some of the differences between ser and estar and using proper etiquette while you're talking on the phone. So again, in order to reach the objectives, and I'll repeat these again, you'll be watching the video I'm recording right now. You'll read your textbook, complete the corresponding MSL, My Spanish Lab activities. I know that earlier in the week there were problems on accessing the textbook, but I believe that has been resolved. Aside from letting Pearson know if you have any technical issues, please let me know. I need to be aware and I can help push issues forward if those occur. Okay, now the quiz, you'll have a quiz in Blackboard this week, but you'll also have a quiz in My Spanish Lab. Okay, don't forget to log your hours of language and cultural contact. You should be completing 2 hours per week. And you will also be completing and submitting your first language and cultural contact presentation. Now, I believe that everyone has signed up for a time for the midterm oral exam, but please, if you have not, you have my Google Calendar link right there to sign up. It will take place September 8th or 9th, okay, depending on when you sign up. You just want to sign up for a 20-minute slot. We may not take the entire 20 minutes, but my exams are starting at 9 a.m. and they are not going to be going past, if I remember correctly, 3:30 p.m. or somewhere around there. Some people have written about, they said they signed up for 4 p.m. I do not have any 4 o'clock exams scheduled. You want to check your calendar and make sure that you are set up on Arizona time. Okay, so if we enter in semana 4, this is what you're going to see. Again, this is a list of, you're going to watch the week 4, I will change that, welcome video. Okay, you are going to do the pages 67 through 99 in your textbook. And you do have, again, here in the middle, as well as up here, and down below, you have 2 more spots where you can download the week 4, the semana 4 plan. Okay. You have a quiz again. This will be in Blackboard. It'll be over words associated with the patient intake form, and I'll show you how to get that to there. There's actually 2 ways. Okay. You want to make sure you study those words. You'll complete the quiz in My Spanish Lab. It will be the last 6 activities of your My Spanish Lab homework. Okay. Now, these activities are usually found in the additional practice section. Okay. You're going to complete and turn in your language and cultural contact presentation. Okay, all of the above will be due by September 11th, which is a Sunday, by 11:59 p.m. But again, you'll also be taking your midterm oral exam. Now, due to the orals, we will not have dialogues this week. Okay, so I will link up the video here once I have completed it. Okay, and again, another brief description that we're covering pages 66 through 99. Here's where you can download the plan again, 2 spots. Okay. And then right below that, you'll see a folder for the quiz, Semana 4, and it says you're going to find the presentation of words associated with the patient intake form, information on typing accents or accent marks, and a quiz. So if I go into that folder, you'll see that there's an automatic folder. This folder is actually listed right here under Terminología Médica. It's just a link over to there. If I open that, okay, this is what I see. I see I have a video, and then I have you have the patient intake form. So this is the actual, that's not available to you. I apologize. I forget that I am not on, I have to have my edit mode set to on. So you will not actually see this. You will just see this information, and this is all a little video that will give you that information. You want to familiarize yourself, okay, and write down any of the words or terms. Okay. So if I go back to quiz, here, this is where, again, this is what is in there. Okay, so you have it in 2 spots. You can link it over to the Terminología Médica, or you can just watch it here. Okay, you will see the acentos y ortográficos. So if you need to a refresher on it using accent marks, and then here you will take the quiz. You will have 1 attempt, and you have 15 minutes to complete it. Okay. Okay, so I hope that wasn't too confusing. It's kind of hard when the week hasn't begun yet, and you don't have access to the folders where I can turn off my edit mode. Alright, so if I go back to Semana 4, the next thing I'm going to see is my Language and Cultural Contact Presentation folder, and if I enter in that, you'll see again the instructions or the description from the syllabus on what it is. You will see the link that you're going to post your assignment. Now your assignment will actually be recorded as a PowerPoint presentation with a voiceover, and you can record that through Google Hangouts. And again, with Google Hangouts on Air, you upload it to YouTube, and right here is where you will click, and then you will click Create Thread. Okay, Create Thread, and you will copy or paste your YouTube link there. Okay, so everyone is going to be able to see it as well as I am. Now again, just like I did in week 3, you have an example of a language and cultural contact presentation. But keep in mind, this is a good one. However, a way lot of information. In fact, you want to make sure that you keep your presentation to about 5 minutes. Okay? Please, no more than 7 minutes. And if you need directions on how to use Google Hangouts on Air, here's a video to help show you that. Okay? You want to give yourself some time to work on that. And there are a couple other programs you can use outside of Google Hangouts on Air, like Screencastify or Screencast-O-Matic. Okay? And so this gives you some options. But students have found that Google Hangouts on Air works well. Okay? So if I go back to Semana 4, the next thing is again a reminder for signing up. Okay? And again, I believe most people have signed up for a time. There are a couple people that are signed up twice. So make sure you delete one of your appointment times. Okay. Then you have your instructions for the midterm oral. Okay. This is what the midterm oral exam is going to look like. Okay. Basically, it will be about 10 to 15 minutes. I give myself 20-minute increments for the main fact that I also will talk to you after the exam about any issues you may be having and just about the course in general. Okay, so there's a couple things you want to make sure. You want to make sure that you're on Arizona time, so there's no schedule conflicts. You want to make sure that your webcam is working. Okay. Hopefully we won't have to go to telephone to do this. You want to make sure that you're on time and have a little patience in case the connection is a minute or two late. Now, what do you need to study? Okay, the first part of this exam is going to be a vocabulary quiz. And so I'm really going to focus on the patient intake form, part 1, which you have a written quiz on. I'm going to ask you 10 of the words in English. I'll give you the English word and you have to give me, like in less than 3 seconds, the Spanish equivalent. And that's 10 points, 1 point each. The second part will be a role play. I will choose one of the dialogues that you have already done with your partners. So it could be dialogue 1, 2, 3, or 4. I will select one of them and we will do the dialogue together. Okay? And I will tell you, so you may want to have up ahead of time the Blackboard shell, and then I will tell you what week and which dialogue. Okay? And you also have a document with those instructions there. Okay? So you also have the recursos, some extra resources to help you for this week. As always, if you're having any difficulties or if you have any questions, please email me. I know that several people have been doing that all along, and I appreciate it. I try to get back to you as soon as possible, although some are emailing me on a Friday afternoon, and I'm not always able to get to it until Monday morning. So I apologize for that. Okay? Buena suerte y nos vemos pronto.